The 2001 Canada 1 cent coin may look small, ordinary, and easy to overlook, but the true beauty of this coin lies in the story it carries and the era it represents. When people talk about collectible coins, their attention often goes straight to silver dollars, gold pieces, or rare mint errors. But sometimes the most interesting treasures are the ones that once passed quietly through millions of hands. The Canadian penny, especially from the early 2000s, is one of those pieces that aged into relevance. The 2001 cent stands out in particular because it represents the final decade of the Canadian penny's circulation before it was discontinued in 2012. For many Canadians, this tiny coin sparks memories of childhood savings, school projects, and the feeling of finding pennies scattered across sidewalks or sitting at the bottoms of drawers. Even though it was worth almost nothing in buying power, it carried immense sentimental value. And that emotion is part of what makes certain coins desirable to collectors today. When you pick up a 2001 Canadian cent, you instantly notice the maple leaf design, sharp and iconic. It has been a part of Canada's identity for generations, appearing on flags, passports, and currency. On this coin, the leaf looks simple but strong, a symbol of endurance. The design traces back to the early 20th century, yet it still feels timeless. The portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse only adds to its significance. In 2001, her image was familiar across many denominations, and today it reminds collectors of a long era that has come to an end. As people look back now, coins showing her portrait have become reminders of stability and tradition. Many viewers might wonder what makes a common 2001 cent worth discussing at all. After all, millions were minted, and most of them circulated widely. But that's exactly why surviving examples in excellent condition carry hidden appeal. The vast majority of these coins were used until they were scratched, faded, chipped, or worn almost flat. Very few were preserved in near-mint condition by accident. Those who kept them untouched usually did so unknowingly, storing them in jars or boxes where they stayed safe from decades of wear. Over time, these few well-preserved coins became rarities. And as interest in discontinued currency grew, collectors began appreciating the nostalgia and scarcity more deeply. Beyond condition, the year 2001 also holds meaning for many people personally. It was the start of a new century, a time of rapid technological change, and a year filled with unforgettable world events. Anything from that period has become a time capsule of early 2000s culture, including coins that circulated in the pockets of students, parents, workers, and travelers. When viewers see a coin like this, they often feel a spark of memory, connecting them to moments that would otherwise be forgotten. A good collectible doesn't just have monetary value. It carries emotional weight and tells a human story. This script aims to capture the essence of what makes the 2001 Canadian 1 cent coin appealing beyond the surface. Viewers should not think of it as just a small copper-plated piece of metal, but as a conversation starter, a historical symbol, and an artifact of a time before digital transactions took over daily life. When people held pennies, even young children began learning about currency, saving, and spending. The penny represented the idea that even the smallest value had its place. Removing the penny from circulation changed everyday habits in subtle, yet permanent ways. Today, many people miss the simple feeling of counting out a few cents or tossing a penny into a fountain for luck. Collectors know that stories sell coins. A coin with a narrative becomes far more intriguing than one that is merely old. When viewers hear the background of the 2001 cent, they start seeing it differently. The texture, the shine, the feel of the metal, and the strong maple leaf design all take on new meaning. People begin to appreciate how even little objects carry legacies. That's why collectors continue searching coin rolls, exploring inherited collections, or researching pocket change. They're not just hunting for profit. They're preserving pieces of history. If you hold a 2001 Canadian cent in your hand right now, pause for a moment and appreciate how many stories it may have been part of. Maybe it sat in a cash register at a small local store. Maybe it was exchanged during a family trip, used to pay for school supplies, or forgotten in a piggy bank for years. Maybe it was part of someone's first ever savings. These little coins traveled more than we tend to imagine, and each one carries silent history with it.